Hello, hello, hello. This is Attorney Mike Gravel coming to you from somewhere on planet Earth. I've got this stream held together with scotch tape and chewing gum. It's also sponsored by the letter W,
which is number one. Wrong.
I had to get you early. All right, we got three defendants that are just they're extra. That's all there is to say about it. Let's get this party started, shall we?
Good morning to you at the jail. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Very excellent.
Excellent from this end too. I'm Magistrate Garwood. I'm going to be handling your case today. Before we get too far into that case, I want to make you aware of just a couple things. Obviously, we're doing this remotely. We're all in different locations. If something happens that you can't hear or see me, let me know right away. Otherwise, we're going to assume that your connection is working just fine and that you can hear and see us. The other thing, two more things. The other thing, our courthouse is closed to the public today, and the public has the right to hear and see what's happening here in the courtroom. So your case is being broadcast live on our YouTube channel. When we're done here today, and YouTube is born. When you're done here today, everything's gonna, it'll come off of our YouTube channel in a day or two. And then.
But it'll live forever on Law Talk with Mike.
The other thing I want to make you aware of, we have different cameras here in the courtroom that were recently installed, and the cameras are in one spot in the courtroom, sort of down the wall from me, and then you are on a screen to my left. And so I am actually looking at your face instead of looking at the camera, because then I can't see your face. And I can see your face, then a corner on the wall. So, okay. All right, so we will begin. Are you, let's see, what is your name?
Adriana Joanne Taylor Hamby, two last names.
Yes, I have your paperwork here. You are here today on WCSD 24-53569. And I will need you to again repeat your full name for the record now that I've called your case number.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Adriana Joanne Taylor Hamby. I have two last names.
And I got them both. Thank you. All right. And today is your first court appearance, your arraignment on this file. So I'm going to advise you of your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, the court will refer you to the local appointing authority for them to be in touch with you, and then they'll handle representation. I will sign that paperwork today. Ms. Apple from the Public Defender's Office will assist you. Because you have been charged with 2 felonies, you have the right to probable cause conference within 14 days and a preliminary examination within 21 days, and you also...
Felonies? Who, me? Sorry, I forgot my mic for the intro. I don't know. You guys probably couldn't hear me. I figured that out from reading the chat.
The right to a trial. Do you understand?
Yes, I guess. Yes, I understand. I guess, yes.
Seem surprised by that. Would you like a moment just to review that information with Ms. Apple before we begin?
No, I'm okay. We just gonna go with this process because to my knowledge, it was one count. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let you go.
Which is number one. Wrong.
To that end, I'm going to have counsel place their appearance on the record, and then I can actually read the complaint to you so you know, so we're all on the same page with what we're talking about, because it's important that you understand what's happening, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, counsel appearances for the record, we will start with the people.
Sure. Good morning, Your Honor. Amy Reiser appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Ms. Reiser.
And Assistant Public Defender Hannah Apple appearing on behalf of Ms. Taylor Hamby. Your Honor, I met with Ms. Taylor Hamby, however, I didn't have the complaint at the time. We discussed what she knew to be possible allegations and charges coming, but not the specifics. So I would ask you to read those on the record, and then she would stand mute at this time.
Okay, thank you. Before I do that, Ms. Taylor Hamby, I just want to, again, we're live on YouTube, so I don't want you to say the whole thing. I just want to confirm your contact information. So we have a cell phone that ends in, the last 2 numbers are 79. If you weren't in custody, would you be able to get telephone calls and text messages?
Yep, I got email, phone number, and an address if you want to drop by as well. I got all of the above.
Okay, I will update all of our files with that information. And if going forward there's any change to your contact information, you are required to notify the court, and certainly I want to make the public defender's office aware as well.
Yep, I just updated it in the jail today.
Okay, so on to the complaint. The complaint in this matter alleges that on or about July 13th of 2024, that you were at 2547 East Ellsworth Road, that's in Ypsilanti Township. Count 1 alleges that you did make an assault upon Colin Masserant, Masserant, with a dangerous weapon, that being a scissors, but without intending to commit the crime of murder or to inflict great bodily harm less than the crime of murder. That is a felony with a maximum penalty of 4 years in prison and or $2,000. Count 2 alleges that you did make an assault upon Colin Masserant with a dangerous weapon, that being a fire extinguisher, but without intending to commit the crime of murder or to inflict great bodily harm less than the crime of murder. Again, a felony, maximum penalty, 4 years in prison, and or $2,000. So counsel has indicated that you are going to stand mute. What that means is you'll remain silent as to those 2 charges. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. I'm going to schedule you for your next court date. That is going to be a probable cause conference. That is in front of Judge Simpson at 14A1 District Court. That's in person.
Yes.
Well, just hold on. Let me get through this stuff, and then I'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay.
Yes,
So the probable cause conference is going to be July 25th at 9 a.m. or as soon as then we're going to send you a notice to appear. You're going to receive additional information from Ms. Apple's office. We will send all of your paperwork over to you at the jail, so you will have that before the end of today. Do you understand that?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry, just my computer to update. Okay, so the next thing we're going to address in this matter, Ms. Taylor-Hamby, is bond. And there are 2 parts to bond. Bond conditions, those are things the court tells you you can and cannot do. If you violate a bond condition, you are subject to immediate arrest. The other side of bond is whether you can be released today on your own personal recognizance, or whether you have to post a bond in order to be released. Before I make any decisions regarding bond or bond conditions, I did hear testimony from the Washington County Sheriff's Office regarding what allegedly took place on the day in question. That was yesterday. I do have a written request from law enforcement and the prosecutor's office. I will hear from the people if they wish to supplement what they have submitted to the court, and I will, of course, hear from Ms. Apple on your behalf. Additionally, we have run your criminal history, and I have that check as well. All of that information goes into my evaluation. I'm going to go through your bond conditions. You're going to get a copy of them when we are done. So we will hear from the people first if they wish to be heard.
Sure, thank you, Your Honor. We're asking for a cash or surety component to the bond conditions. I believe that the defendant is a danger to the community. This was a stranger unknown to her. She was in a business, Cricket Mobile, dealing with her cell phone bill when the clerk asked her to leave the store, and I know you've already heard the swear to, but she ended up picking up a pair of scissors and threatening him, and he tried to usher her out of the store. She ultimately grabbed a fire extinguisher and hit him with that. When police arrived on scene and she was detained and put in the back of the police car, she slipped her handcuffs off and started banging the back of the police car window. She's on probation for CCW out of Jackson County, and she additionally has another warrant request that I will be charging later today. It's a non in custody for a similar incident at a business on Washtenaw Avenue where she threw a tablet at the clerk and cut her lip. So I do believe she's a danger to the community, and I don't believe a PR bond would be appropriate.
Thank you. Ms. Apple.
Thank you. Your Honor, as to bond, we are requesting a personal bond for Ms. Taylor-Hamby. She denies the allegations that are alleged and informs me that any of this would stem from a self-defense claim, and that was the reason for any altercation, the police being called. But at this time, we're asking for a personal bond. She is employed. We did provide a local address. She's not a flight risk at this time.
She's employed?
And she works at Pilot Gas Station, and she does have family support. That's her mother's
That's
address,
impressive.
which I provided to the court. So we are asking that to be considered, and she has no issue having a no contact order in place, and she has no reason to return to the Cricket store to ensure safety of that business and those individuals there.
Thank you. Just one moment.
Wait, did I miss this? Did they say the Cricket store is in like the phone? Please tell me that's not still a thing.
A tablet.
Ms. Taylor Hamby, we can hear
Yes.
everything that you're saying, so I would advise
Oh,
you.
I'm sorry,
to
I'm
remain quiet.
sorry. I greatly apologize. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to remember what the prosecutor attorney just said.
Miss Taylor Hamby, I am not taking any action in reference to whatever is alleged to have taken place at the other business today, because it hasn't been charged. So at this point, it's just allegations. I don't have anything specific in front of me regarding whatever happened at the other location. Today, we're just dealing with what happened at 2547
But we do have suspicions that it's correct.
East Ellsworth Road, so the Cricket store. Ms. Reiser's just providing additional information so that the record is clear.
I'm kind of confused because I didn't.
What Ms. Apple is saying to you, and what I would also say to you, is remember your rights. So anything you say can be used against you. So even the small.
Okay, now I understand what you're saying. Be quiet, watch what you say, close your mouth. Okay, I'm sorry, I apologize. Okay.
Okay. So I'm sorry, Ms. Reiser, was there anything else you wanted to add before I make my decision?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, thank you. So as I look at this case, so that further information will come on this case, and I understand that you intend to defend this case, and counsel's presented that you have a defense to this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to set various conditions for you upon which you will have to comply. Your conditions, they will exist whether you're in custody or whether you're out of custody, and those conditions remain in full force and effect until changed by the court. So it's really important that you understand your conditions so you can stay in compliance with your conditions. Your conditions are as follows. These are not in the order of importance, just the order listed on the form I will read from. You're going to get a copy of this, as I said, when we are done. No alcohol, no illegal drugs, and no marijuana. I'm not going to send you for any drug or alcohol testing right now, but I am going to set that condition to not have any of those items. And it is completely possible that you will be ordered for testing in the future. So make sure you stay in compliance. Do you have a medical marijuana card?
No, ma'am, I cannot smoke marijuana. I cannot do liquor because I am on probation. I do get tested and I do get dropped. Yes, I do. And I'm telling you the completely honest the truth. I'm in Jackson County. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. You are not allowed to leave the state of Michigan without prior permission of the court, and you're not to purchase or possess any firearms, ammunition, or dangerous weapons. Do you understand those conditions?
Oh, I completely understand, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you don't have any firearms or dangerous weapons, correct?
No, ma'am, I do not, because I'm not allowed to.
You are not to
Hell no.
assault, harass, intimidate, beat, molest, wound, or threaten anyone. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I completely do.
You are to have no contact with Colin Massarant. When I say no contact, no direct or indirect contact with that individual in person or through others. No telephone, email, texting, internet, social media, Skype, Zoom, FaceTime,
There
Instagram.
shall not be any cutting of trees.
World to know about. You are also not to send anything to that person. You're not to have anyone else send anything. Don't deliver any packages, mail, Don't direct anyone else to do what you're not allowed to do as far as contact with that person. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You are not to go to 2547 East Ellsworth Road. It's my understanding that is the Cricket store until further order of the court. Additionally, you are not to go to the home, any place of employment, any house of worship, or any place of education of Colin Masserant. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So hypothetically, you're walking into Kroger to buy groceries and you see this guy, you're going to walk out. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the last thing the court needs to do, I need to evaluate what to do as far as bond is concerned. From what I'm hearing, this was sort of a series of events where it's alleged you were unable to control yourself, first in the store, and then being told to leave the store, and then some events that took place as you were being arrested in the car, and then it sounds like maybe something happened at the jail as well. You've only been charged with the first part of that, so what happened in the store. It doesn't sound like there are going to be other charges on the other part. Ms. Reiser has also made mention that there is another report that exists of another sort of similar circumstance where you were not able to control yourself in public. So what the court has to look at is, are you a danger to the community? And are you a flight risk? And if every time you go into a store, something goes wrong and then someone is injured, that's certainly a problem. I don't think you're a flight risk. You're on probation in another court. There's no suggestion that there's a problem with that other court. I don't have 10 cases for you showing that you've been skipping court or.
Okay, this is kind of fun. The judge is trying to be nice to her. We're saying, I don't think you're a flight risk. You showed up here today. You're on probation in another court. I just think you're a danger to society.
Anything like that. So that's not a concern. But it's a question of, will you be able to control yourself so that we don't have any problems the next time you go into a business and something doesn't go as you wish. You're raising your hand. Normally, I wouldn't hear from you at this point. I'll defer to Ms. Apple what she wants to do.
Sorry. I apologize. It's just I go to mental health. And I gotta go to mental health before the 21st. And I gotta go get my medication.
Okay. So this is what I am going to do. I'm going to give you a chance on this. There are going to be new charges coming, is what it sounds like. But I will give you a chance on this one, and I hope that you will be able to figure out how to control your actions, because now you are under supervision, not just in Jackson County, but here.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to set a pretty large backup cash bond in this. So if you
That is the double secret probation that everyone always refers to.
Violate any of the conditions I have set for you, the backup bond is going to be $25,000. And if you fail to come to court, it's going to be $25,000. So you have to do what you are directed to do and not do what you are not allowed to do. Can you stay in compliance with my conditions?
Yes, ma'am, because I can't afford to get out and I want to stay out and I'm gonna be a good girl. Yes, ma'am. I will follow. If he come around, I'll walk away. I get on the bus. I will run. I will leave. I will drop everything and go and do not pass $200.
Okay, so he's not really my concern. My concern is your activities out in the daily world and if something goes wrong. So make sure that you comply with all of your mental health requirements that you have. Make sure you stay in compliance with whatever's happening in Jackson, and make sure you stay in compliance with your medications. And, in general, when we have a disagreement with somebody, cooler heads tend to prevail. So take a breath, right? If something goes wrong, take a breath, walk away.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Apple, do you have any questions for the court?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ms. Reiser?
Nothing further from the people.
All right, we'll get all of your paperwork together and we will get that over to you at the jail. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. See you on the 25th.
I'm not sure I actually said the probable cause date on the record. Probable cause, did I? Okay, July 25th at 9 a.m. All right, you're all set. You can stand up and go to the door.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Looks like they're ready to go. All right, State versus Claude Van Druff, 23 CR 64, 23.
Okay, I've got a serious question about this one. This clip is fantastic, but it's old and it looks familiar. I don't think I've done it before, but if I have, please tell me. We can skip over it if we need to. But I think I might have had this guy, but not this clip. Either way, this guy is an extra vibe.
CR 63. Party state appearances, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court, Larry Marchinsky on behalf of the state.
All right. Ms. Barnett, if you'll enter your appearance, please. No, you're muted still. I think she's on her phone, so.
Okay, got it?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, Judge.
Okay.
Sharon Barnett on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Van Druff, who appears in custody.
All right. Guess we're waiting on an update on the latest competency evaluation.
Yes, sir. I actually am waiting to hear back from bids. Your Honor may remember signing off on the expert. All the paperwork has been done. The contract is completed. Everything is done. I sent all that information to bids on March 22nd. They emailed me back to confirm the hours that the expert asked for. I expected to hear back immediately. I never did. I emailed him again last Friday, April 5th, asking for the approval or what's the holdup, and I have not heard not one word back from bids. I have no clue why. So I am here to ask for another continuance. I will tell Your Honor that I visited with Mr. Van Druff personally at the jail. We spent about an hour together. I believe that was Tuesday evening. He made it clear to me he did not want me to continue this any further. In his words, he's tired of the competency bullshit. He does not want me requesting any more continuances. But also based on that same conversation, I still have the same concerns. His discussion with me to prep for the trial was that his witnesses will be there. I don't need to worry about that. So I feel like as his advocate, I don't have a choice but to request another continuance due to competency issues. But I also wanted to make it known what his feelings are.
Well, as she's indicated, this guy has zero F's to give, and he says so quite blatantly.
Very good. All right. Mr. Van Druff, did you want to address the court?
Yes, I do. I've been locked up in here since last March. Past this March, that's a year. There's nothing going on, man. And I'm tired of this. I've been locked up. The charges were dropped on me. I was only on one charge to begin with, and then I had 3 charges put on me at the end of the week that I was locked up. A bunch of punks that did that over in Caldwell, Kansas. One's dead. One is in one of my trucks out here waiting for me to get out of here. The other one's probably dead too. That's Trey Calloway. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm fed up with this shit. The sheriff knows it. DA knows it. And you, Judge Mott, you know it too. So does Sharon, my lawyer. I got another lawyer. That's Norma Shelton. Not Shelton. She used to be the head DA in Wichita, Posted. And anyway, I'm not cop or nothing. I'm not crazy. I'm innocent. And you better let me out here, because I tell you what, I got 2 other things. One's against the DCF and SRS to this state. My daughter died in their hands. I'm gonna sue their ass. I got another deal in 96 when I had a wreck up there in Wichita. I kept trying to tell them I wasn't guilty of DUI. I had 1 beer. 5 welders was with me. I'm a welder for trade and a blacksmith. wrecked my truck because of Gary Davis had a son of a bitch, a dadgum, bartender slip a Mickey in my fucking drink.
All right.
Tell you something, I find that son of a bitch when I get out here, you'll have some.
All right. Well, I think we made a record on the issues Miss Barnett's talking about. So he's launching into threats and whatnot.
Alrighty.
I have no explanation why Bids hasn't responded.
Grandpa's still going. Judge just casually mutes him. But that does not stop Grandpa at all.
They acknowledge getting the paperwork, your signature, the contract. I've never encountered this before. Usually the Bids responds immediately with approval.
Well, maybe it's
Why
because
they haven't.
it could be because because we do have an evaluation. Maybe, I don't know.
Their last email to me was on March 22nd when they wanted to confirm the hours. There was confusion if it was for contract was for 8 hours or 10 hours. They wanted me to please advise which one. I did. And that was the last communication that I've had. They've not even responded to my emails because I emailed again on last Friday saying, hey, I need to know something. I've never got a reply.
So we're in the funding stage still?
No, I believe so. The funding hasn't been approved. They wanted confirmation of the hours requested by the doctor.
And the
doctor's office is the one that filled out the contract. And apparently there was a misprint of some sort. The addition, they detailed the hours, what they were asking for and why. But then in the addition part where it showed the total, it was what they asked for per hour was like 8 hours, but when they added it all up, they came to 10 hours and Bids caught that. So they asked me, do they want 8 hours or do they want 10 hours? I emailed them back. I said, that is a mistake. They do want the 10 hours.
Oh, good Lord. This may be the end. This may be the end.
And that's the last communication I've had with Bids.
Do you know who it is we need to talk to, the person, and we can maybe set a hearing and subpoena them?
From Bids?
Yeah, just to get this moving.
Oh, I do not know off the top of my head, but I certainly can find out.
Yeah, let's just set a hearing.
All right, I'll stick with it for a little bit, but if this keeps happening, well, I'll close it down. We got through the best part of this hearing. You didn't get to see Crack Granny yet, but maybe another day. I don't know what you call it, hearing to determine funding, we'll just call it an evidentiary hearing just so we can figure out and get things moving, and then
Okay.
maybe you can issue a subpoena for her or something.
Okay.
Then we can get a date so we can plan this, because Mr. Van Druff's right about one thing. We are really, it's taken a long time. Of course, it does every time we do competency stuff.
Right.
Okay. You want a special setting for this, or actually 11 will work. It won't take long. Maybe
No,
if we get the answer we need, we don't need her, or him.
that's exactly. I will certainly send him another email today and let him know what's going on.
Okay. So let's so a couple of weeks for the the subpoena to get served and issued. So maybe May 2nd, is that far enough out at 11?
Mm-hmm.
Will that work for you, Miss Barnett?
I'm checking. That should work. Yeah, May 2nd should work.
All right. May 2nd at 11 a.m. Let's just call that evidentiary hearing regarding funding for competency eval.
And Your Honor is going to allow whoever it is I have to sub to appear via Zoom?
Yes, they can review the Zoom, but we just need an update on what's going on there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay, we're all set.
All right, this was sent to me by Chadaskadam. It's depressing as hell. It's awful. Don't watch it.
You ready, Judge?
All set whenever you are, yes.
Stand ready to press.
Heather, can
State
you,
your full name.
Catherine Young Schaefer.
Ms. Schaefer? All right, you still live on Bonita Street?
Yes, sir.
And confirming that is space number, give me a moment. 26, CASE7541 @gmail.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Your phone number ends in 9571.
Yes.
Okay. The state's alleging 3 charges against you. One of them is a misdemeanor charge. 2 of them are felony charges. First, the misdemeanor charge. That is failure to remain at an accident scene involving damaged property. That's a Class 2 misdemeanor. The 2 felony charges are narcotic drug possession or use, and the second one is drug paraphernalia possession or use. On all of those charges, you have the right to remain silent, right to counsel, and right to trial. I scheduled. This is truly sad. I know it, but it is fascinating. First of all, she's a trip. Second of all, I don't know how you conduct life like she does and reach that age. Unless it's like a Breaking Bad scenario and you don't start until you're already old. You for a arraignment on the misdemeanor charge on the 31st of July at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
The arraignment.
And I get to go home?
You're talking on page 12 when I'm on page 2. So
Okay.
we're nowhere near talking about that yet. So don't even think about whether you're getting out or not. Listen to what I'm saying instead.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So the arraignment that is scheduled for July 31st is where you'll need to be prepared to plead either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Depending on how you plead will be what happens next with the court proceedings, okay?
Yes, sir.
Your release conditions are as follows on the misdemeanor charge. Obey all orders of the court. Do not commit any crimes. Notify the court if your address changes. Do not leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court. Do not have any contact with the alleged victim in any manner. That's on the misdemeanor charge. Now, regarding your felony charge, now you asked about getting out. So on the misdemeanor charge violation, I'm releasing you on your own recognizance. You're not remaining in custody on the misdemeanor charge. Now we're going to talk about the felony charges. Okay, I've scheduled you for a preliminary hearing on the 22nd of July. Okay, that's at 4 o'clock p.m. The preliminary hearing is where a prosecutor or a state representative will present testimony and evidence to a judge or to a grand jury to determine if there's probable cause to charge you with those felonies. If there is probable cause, your case will be bound over to the Gila County Superior Court. If there's not probable cause, the 2 felony charges will be dismissed and that'll conclude it. Your release conditions on those 2 charges are obey all orders of the court, not commit any crimes, notify the court immediately if your address changes, do not leave the state of Arizona without permission of the court, do not possess, consume any alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription, and do not possess any firearms. It's a felony allegation. On those felony charges, I am placing a $1,500 bond on you, so you'll remain in custody unless you, hold on, you'll remain in custody unless you post that bond, or what will happen is, since you're remaining in custody, the county attorney is required to file a formal complaint against you within 48 hours of the date and time of this hearing. If they don't file the formal complaint, you'll be released on your own recognizance. If they do file the complaint, then you'll have the potential to have a court-appointed attorney appointed to your case, and they'll review the bond. You have a question?
I do. I, with all due respect, Your Honor, I have some reasons why I should be able to go home. I have no money. I have, my husband is disabled and elderly, and the state pays me to take care of him.
Is that the co-defendant?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got, he's in custody also, so you don't have to do that.
Yeah, but he has fewer charges than me, so I
Okay, well, you won't have to worry about that as of now, okay? So
Well, he's already in custody, so it's taken care of. I can't believe the judge slid that in, but that's funny.
I have a little cat, and I have absolutely no one to take care of her.
Okay, so, ma'am, those are not going to be valid reasons that you're being released, and here's why. Here, hold on.
Which is number one, wrong.
You have a substantial criminal history with failure to appears on your record. These charges are felony charges, so we can't have that happen on these charges. So that's number one, okay? The second portion of that is, since you're in custody, I have to ask you some questions regarding your finances to see if you qualify for the court-appointed attorney. So if that complaint is filed within the 48 hours, your attorney can look to see on a bond review for you, okay? So I need to ask you questions on that financial statement.
I have been planning to go as far as the fentanyl to treatment next week.
Well, that's great, but it's a little bit, it's a week too late, because here you are with the allegations of these charges against you. So it's not going to change the bond right now, all right? Let me ask you some questions regarding your finances. Please raise your right hand. I need to administer an oath. I got to be able to see your hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear the information you're providing the court regarding your finances to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
What is your marital status? Single, married, partnered, separated, or divorced?
I'm married.
Okay. How many other people do you financially support?
None.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Yes.
Okay, what do you do?
I take care of my husband.
Oh, sweet Jesus. What?
14 hours a week.
Okay, and so what is your approximate monthly take-home pay? How much do you get paid per week or every other week?
Every other week I get $300. About
Okay,
$300.
so roughly $600 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have income from any other sources like Social Security, food stamps, investments, disability, or unemployment?
My husband's Social Security.
Okay. How much is that income?
$1,100.
Tell them about your hedge fund now.
Any other sources of income of those benefit programs? Do you own a house?
No.
Do you have any bank or retirement accounts?
No. Oh, bank account.
Okay. It's a regular checking account?
Yes.
What is the balance in the account, roughly?
About $1.
$1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Holding steady
Do you have
at
any
a buck.
outstanding
That's
loans?
nice.
I
told you this sucked.
Storage unit.
Now, is that an expense or a loan?
It's an expense.
Okay, so we'll get to that here in a moment. Do you have any loans?
No.
Okay. All right, so the total amount of all of your monthly expenses, not just your storage unit, but anything else you pay on a cell phone, electric bill, or anything, what do you think that monthly average is?
At least 1,000.
Okay. Okay, the court finds with the financial information you provided the court that you do qualify
Yeah,
for
I
a
think so.
court-appointed attorney. So I'll send this report to the Office of Indigent Legal Services. And what will happen is if that complaint is filed within 48 hours, they'll assign the attorney to your case at that time. If the complaint is not filed within 48 hours, then the case is not filed, but they can file it up to 7 years from the date of your arrest, okay? At that time, if they do file it, then we can review this information again about the appointed attorney. Do you understand that?
I do. I'm really needing to go home. I can't stay here. There's a couple things about the jail that I want to share.
Well, you might want to share those with the detention staff.
All right.
So if you have complaints or any of the things that are taking place on at the jail.
Judge, she has a couple issues with the jail. So she can't stay there. You got to let her go.
Make sure you tell the detention staff regarding that. And but otherwise, the bond remains in place. You're released on the misdemeanor.
I don't have that kind of money. I don't have that money, and I don't have family. I have no family.
I understand. So what will happen is you'll remain in custody until your next court date, or if they don't file that complaint in 48 hours. Okay? That'll be all, ma'am. Have a good day.
K9's outside of 5.
Well, I warned you. I warned you that Crack Granny would be depressing. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's a Sunday. You know? What are you going to do? All right, good times, but all three of those defendants were just over the top in their own way. And we have proof positive that that with age, you don't necessarily get wisdom. Sometimes you do, but not always. Thank you all for coming out. I appreciate it. I will see you all soon.